everybody. I'm a little early, but I had a little bit of a crisis. My usual software um, location, StreamYard, it went offline or something, and I had to figure out how to just go through YouTube. So I'm lost. I don't know how to like put the um, comments on the screen, that kind of thing. Hey, Jackie, but can you hear me and see me? I'm using YouTube instead of StreamYard, and I just StreamYard wasn't available for some reason, so I'm kind of scrambling. Hey, Stephanie. So this is okay. I can actually do this thing and not tell everybody I have to cancel because my software went. Hey, Seascape. Hey, Sue. Hey, Earth Mama. Good to see everybody. Good. It's one of those days. It's so good to see everybody. How have y'all been doing? I've been kind of affected by we're having a bit of a severe weather alert regarding smoke because there's so many wildfires. And thank you. And I'm highly sensitive to that kind of thing, so it's been difficult. Oh yeah, Seascape. I'm frustrated with all these criminals too. I am not sure how to put your. I can try. Like if I click this, um, no, I don't know how to put the comments with YouTube onto the screen. So that's a thing that I can't do today. But Seascape, you were saying frustrated with all these criminals. I am too. I'm very, very frustrated. It's so disgusting, especially how the felon is using the military. It just makes me sick. But that's, I guess, how it's intended to make us feel. It's so un-American. But I do have to remind myself that we are being, occupied by Russia, and Putin is doing this. Really, it's confusing, but it's we're so gaslit, and you have this media walking lockstep, but it's all controlled by a foreign country who's an enemy who is attacking California, giving marching orders to our government because our government was, entertainment purposes only, bought and paid for by, Putin and, other countries too. But yes, the energy, our high artistic world, the energies are really tricky. I'm finding it very difficult. And just having to go to, meditation and listening to ambient music and to not get caught up. And it's like, it's bad. And it's distracting from other things that are happening. I don't. Oh yeah, like we had the whole Felon 45 Leon war, right? And some people think this is all about distraction from that because that was pretty dire. And yeah, but this is all. I'm sure that if we look at 2025, Project 2025, this is all in there. Go as fast as you can to destroy the government, and then you take over the military, and then you attack within, and the whole Steve Bannon dream, his desire to create apocalypse, civil war, so that it could be destroy ourselves, and then the technocrats and whomever. Well, I don't think Bannon really, his allegiance is more to Putin and to like the apocalypse and some crazy idea about where he thinks the world's going. But and then Roger Stone. I was watching Rosie's Insights. She's talking about looking at Roger Stone's Twitter and him talking about like this as being a plan, like to create conflict in California so they can come in and take it over like it's Greenland or something. Artistic world, you're saying yes, very negative. I've come to a standstill. Yeah, creatively too. It's hard to to move past it. We will move past it. It's just right now, and the full moon. The strawberry moon yesterday. The full moon enhances both positive and negative energies. So I had lots to say. Like I was really focusing on Leon. It kept me up at night, actually, all these questions about him. So we can get into that. But, please ask your questions. I'm happy to see if I can answer them. I have my pendulum. And again, entertainment. Hey, Deli. Hey, Carolyn. I have pendulum will travel. No, yeah, I'm a psychic. What do I know? Entertainment purposes only. It's all just whatever, fairy stuff. So because the content of the information I want to share just scared me so much, I haven't heard anybody talking about it. It's just logical. You don't need to be a psychic, but it's very dangerous. And I just wondered about it. I'm really curious about what you guys have to say about it. So, okay, it goes like this. Okay, so and we know, yeah, like the rumor mill right now is that Leanna is like, oh, please take me back. Just kind of walking back some of the things he said, and because they're so intertwined, right? Leon and the felon, so much to the point, and I saw this so clearly. It makes so much perfect sense to me. Is okay. So you give Leon complete access to the White House, all the internet system, all the communication systems, all the computers, all the data. And I read somewhere like a political article, maybe Forbes or something, about how like Starlink at the beginning, I think in February, there were people within the White House that begged the administration not to use Starlink, or at least to have more security, because it was crazy, just like one password or something. It was just totally um, unprotected, or and well, even just having an unelected person who's just arbitrarily, who wouldn't even get security clearance and who has conflict of interest, access to all of that information, and it's his internet system. It's Starlink, which I also read after the feud. Somebody allegedly asked Felon, "Are you going to still use Starlink?" And he said, "Yeah, there's no plans to not use it." But if allegedly Leon could get into the election system, which they keep on admitting, kind of, maybe not completely directly, but it's pretty, it's near. And he, the Joe Rogan thing with the Leon showing him, I have this app, and look, I can see the result like 4 hours or something before the election, which you can't even know the result. You shouldn't until like days, maybe weeks after an election. It's ridiculous. And so what's to stop him? What if he, and all the way he turned off Starlink for hey Mimi, and everybody else who's joined. Hey JC, you're here. So what's to stop, and for sure we know he's got direct access to Starlink because he turned it off for Ukraine. What's to stop him from turning off Starlink to the whole government, the whole administration, so they have no internet? And he has complete control over that. Can you imagine? But I think that's the case. It has to be. That's his internet system. He can turn it on, he can turn it off on his phone. So do they realize this is the felon so old school and so not thinking in that mindset that it didn't occur to him? It has to have occurred to somebody that you have a person out there still feuding with the felon, that and the members of his administration, and he has complete control over their internet. and he can spy on them. I mean, he has his people everywhere. He has eyes everywhere. So he probably know. I mean, whether I mean, and wiretap whatever. He's got like listening into all of that, right? So he'll know exactly like what's said behind his back. He'll know exactly what's going on there. He is in control of that security, as far as I can see. Or if not ostensibly in control of the security system, he's got to be. Wouldn't you, if you were Leon, you put spying or spyware everywhere? And they showed me allegedly that he can hack into the emails. And they also showed me this. Hey, Carol, that potentially, or I should say allegedly, I mean, this is just from my guides and my logic. How many times has kind of the phone said, "Hey, Leon, can you do this with my phone?" Like, can you da 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 da? And I see, and I'd love to know what you think, that he has access to his phone, that Leon has access to Felon's phone. He's got intimate access to the POTUS's phone. Now that totally freaked me out. I mean, my mind just kind of went there. I couldn't stop it. From reaching a logical conclusion. So what the hell? Like, do you think that's true? That he could probably just shut down the whole government on a whim if he got mad enough, if he got angry enough. And I feel like Felon 45 thinks he has the control because of, that threat to cut off all the government contracts, etc., which really pissed Leon off. But in the end, would he resort to that? And what would be the outcome of that? I'm fascinated by that. So that's kind of what has been floating around in my mind. And there's other things to that too. And oh, yeah. Like his people, is he gonna, if it gets really bad, is he gonna pull out his people and just say, see ya, you don't, you don't get to use my internet, you don't get to use my people, and then you have our government, or so-called, not a legitimate government, I don't think, this is personal opinion, but you have them scrambling to get, like, maybe they'll call Comcast or something. Like, well, we need another internet system here. And we know, considering Hesketh has a Russian email, and, Leon has continual contact, or allegedly, or has had with Putin, who offered him asylum, right? So that information is going to Putin, right? Putin, and or also maybe other countries, but definitely Russia. That's insane. What's happened, and there's so much that's happened that it's hard to kind of take in the larger picture, because we keep on getting distracted. We're distracted now by LA and the ridiculousness of it, and so much gaslighting, because it was only like 5 city blocks or something, or 5 square blocks of LA where people were protesting. 80% of LA is fine, and yet they want to portray it like it's like looks like Gaza now, so they can come in and bring in the Marines, and that's just like on the heels of everything else that's been going on. I'll look at your questions, but anyway, I'm really curious as to what you think of all that. If you think that's a crazy, thought process, or if it makes sense. So I should read your questions. I'm sorry, I don't know how to, with the YouTube framework, to put them up. StreamYard, by the way, for the people who came, because I came on a little early. I couldn't get it. It said no healthy upstream, and I just couldn't. It wasn't there, so I had to scramble and do it just directly through YouTube. So I'm not exactly sure how it works on like, I don't know how to put the comments up on the screen with YouTube. I can do it with StreamYard. So I'm going to read your comments here. So T-Lin, hey T-Lin, what is He and the administration distracting from while using all the rhetoric. Nothing is ever as it appears to be. Oh, yeah. I'll ask the guides that. You meant Carol says I meant to share Election Truth Alliance on YouTube. And yeah, I know a lot of you are going to the No Kings rallies. There's so many. It's going to be crazy. It's supposed to rain, by the way. I pray. I've been praying for that all week too. If it's for the highest good, let it just be terrible weather in DC. That's my wish. But not to harm anybody, but it would be great for the whole day to be lousy. Brown's Goddess, my friend worked in IT for a major Hollywood studio. He said they build a kill switch for Elmo, and there's 0% chance he doesn't control everything. So you say he does? Do you mean Brown's Goddess that he does control everything? Is that what you're saying there? Because how could he not? I mean, he was the guy. He's like Felon 45's like, yeah, I didn't know how this works, so yeah, but Leon will do it, because he's a tech guy, and it just so he let him do all of that, and then they, of course, they fired, I should say, or got rid of like any of the people who were looking at like espionage and yeah, like counter terrorism and whatever, like regarding Russia specifically. That's a tell. Chris MV, I live in Ventura County in California. When will the ICE raids stop? It's farm town people that are being detained and arrested. We are scared. Thank you. Well, I can ask that right now. Yeah, Bronze Goddess, he can control everything via an app. So what does this mean? And will he? I'm going to ask the guides too. But you ask your guides. if you work with your guides, like, what's he going to do? Because he could just shut it all down, and you get Leon mad enough, and why wouldn't he? I mean, and the stupidity of how they let this person come in and get so enmeshed in the government to the point where he's got eyes everywhere. He's got spider webs everywhere, and he is in control. He is the one at the helm. Bronze Goddess says he has Doge build him an app with the ability to control every aspect of government. Yep, because he thinks he's president. He bought the election. Yep, president or presidential position should cost about $300 million. That was his price. And he really still believes it. Wow, thank you, Bronze Goddess. I really appreciate you asking, because it just it's freaked me out, the whole idea of it. Yes, he will. I already got the same hit that Bronze Goddess says. So, and I'm going to ask about ICE. What is Colossus in Memphis, LS? I don't know what that is. Are you talking about his that whatever he's building that's completely polluted the poor end of the town? Is it something to do with is it crypto or something? It's like creating a huge amount of methane. I think that's what that is. Yeah, Bronze Goddess. We will all need new social security numbers. So, and Mimi says Leon is reactive and will do anything to be the one in charge. And Alice says the more you know, the more frightening this becomes. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Alice. Colossus is his data farm, but what a disaster. But they don't want any regulations, because I think Leon really wants to, bring on the apocalypse so he can go to Mars with his 100 genetically modified children. What a dream. Okay, so this whole thing. So we have to remember, the guys want us to know, it goes back to Putin. He is destroying our country from within. So of course he wants to destroy our, but the way that he would set crops on fire or destroy in Ukraine, the wheat. production or whatever. It's the same philosophy. It's the same like art of warfare for him. But he's doing it. It looks like our, it's the U.S. doing it to itself, and it is in a way. But it's really him that's doing it to us. Just like RFK Jr. backing down or not backing down and getting rid of, our safeguards regarding health and vaccine. Get the people sick. Let them all be dying of measles and the plague or whatever. Like all of that is it's a KGB tactic, and we are being attacked, and that's why it feels so horrible beyond what it might feel, because look at how Putin, when he goes to war, what he does. It's horrific, and he is horrific, and so that's where we're at. I do believe that, and that's why it feels so weird, and we're so gaslit. And he owns the media. Um, it's not just Felon 45, his desire, which he does desire to be this fascist king, but it's really he's taking his orders from Putin. So Carla Rutherford says Trump is now allowing migrant farm worker and hotel worker to stay at work. So okay, it's a mess. It's not going to be easy to answer this question, I think, but I'm going to try to do the best I can. Okay, now this I say this in each live, and it may seem impossible, but the guides always show me that they're not just it's just that they're not going to be there that long. So these problems are going to just clear up once he is removed from office, and they do see him being removed from office. Now I'm skeptical, and I apologize because I say this each time. I have skin in the game, and when you can be really clear, when you don't have a emotion involved and you're detached. But if you you run the risk with these, or I run the risk anyway, with these kinds of questions, because that would be so fantastic. But they still say it. Hey, Renee. Hey, Juanita. That he's going to be removed from office, and so is Vance. They see it all happening. Yeah, I think, but somebody said Magister, or Libby said by end of August, and somewhere it's kind of like we're going to be watching it happen very soon. And the military has not, like I worry so much, has the military been taken over by the government, and are they now, do they have allegiance to Putin via Trump? And they say no, they don't. It's still swear by the Constitution. And the gaslighting that we saw with those, I think they were Air Force One soldiers or whatever, or Marines or whomever wasn't he speaking at some kind of event for the birthday, ironically, of this country? They were handpicked to be there and to give that response, which is still unforgivable because no, I don't care what, you're not supposed to have a partisan affiliation. But still the majority, it's like the iceberg, the majority of that, we don't see the iceberg, we just might see the tip, a very small part of the tip with those seeing what we saw, but that's not how the military feels. That's not what how the military is going to play. They're not going to give their allegiance to Trump or Putin. It's not going to happen. Even though they want, I think the media, I think the administration wants us to think that, but that's not the truth. There's so much going on behind the scenes to oust this regime. But it's really hard when they, did I say hi to you, Renee? Oh, I think I did. It's really hard to see what's really happening because media is so much coming from like the Pravda, it's bought and paid for, and they're more and more they're trying to get rid of anybody who's going to speak out, and we've been watching that. Um, the guides say there's so many different factors that are going to come in and play a part. Certainly, Felon's health is terrible. Uh, there's all this talk now that he wears not a colostomy. It's a colostomy, like a for urination. He wears a bag that he can urinate into. Allegedly, that's the rumors going around because when he tripped and fell on the steps, um, it was kind of. I think that's when you could see it, the outline of it. So his health is very. It's like a short fuse or something. Like it could go at any minute. It could just have a major stroke, and it's not good. Like, and the thing is that it's a very stressful. Even if he plays golf, maybe most of the time, he's constantly traveling. He's constantly having to be on. When he arranges those rallies and things, and that's not normal to have rallies. They have to have rallies as a president. Um, Most of the time you don't want to be thinking about the government. The normal people just get on with their lives, but it's all a show. Like he's like a circus. Like he's the ringmaster. A Foley bag made me thank you. Yeah, I get that feeling too, Renee. D says, Melissa, I get the feeling that he's using BlackRock and Proud Boys as fake soldiers. I saw that, the people or whomever who protesters who threw rocks over bridges at people below. I don't believe they were protesters. I believe they were like Proud Boys. And when you hear Trump and Felon 45 and his people continually say these protesters are paid for. Well, they are paid for. They're paid for by him. They're counterinsurgents or whatever you call them. They're coming in to make trouble, the troublemaker, and they are getting paid. Those people who are lighting the fires and trying to provoke the police because they're paid to do that because they want to do another. And they did that with Black Lives Matters, right? In Portland, and it's just a game they're playing to try to justify, um, martial law and coming in and like federalizing. This is so ironic, really. The party of small government. They want to come in and take over all the states and federalize everything. Um, so, but they are not going to get away with it. That's what my guides are saying. That's what I'm asking them right now. Our democracy will hold strong. It's being sorely tested, but it will hold strong. We have not been abandoned. And I also wanted to say, and I don't mean to, well, maybe I do. I don't know. I just have a different opinion, and I could be totally wrong regarding Kamala, where some other people are saying she's tired, she's not interested in being president. But I'll tell you, when and you can do it yourself, you can try to sink into her energy. She is ready. She's ready to go. She knows she's the real president. She is fully on board with coming, and she is not tired. She was born to do this. This is her star rising. This is her life purpose, and she loves us. She's not going to abandon us. She lays lows, sorry, she lays low, but there's reasons for that. Um, yeah, but Scott is on top of said thunderstorms on Saturday in DC, literally going to rain on his parade. I was thinking that when I saw the weather report. I've been watching it over the week, and I hear that like Barbara Streisand song and Funny Lady. That would be great to play that song. Oh yeah, I heard about that tragedy, forest streams. Any ideas about the plane crash tragedy today in India? That was a accident, a tragedy, unexpected. It was like something glitched that wasn't supposed to glitch, and I think it might have been like a computer era. error. Sorry. So sad. I hope all those souls go to the light. But I could be wrong. I don't know, but and also just answering without having quiet and meditation, and asking like that. I can get maybe that I would be more correct, but right now I'm seeing that it was like computer, but I don't get it's another country. I get it was like an accident, But I'm sad that that happened. Of course. Oh, really, JC? When protested with Occupy Wall Street, the police brought newly released mental patients to us. No joke. Yeah, Forest Stream says Boeing plane 787. It's the only, and it's the first one that's ever crashed, right? Um, yeah. So what else have has? Well, there's been so much. I'm asking myself what else has been going on in my, what I've been willing. Um, hey, Jane. Hi. Hey, Linda. Oh, thank you, Giver. Hey. Um, so thank you. Yeah. I was talking to somebody about the storm, but that's how it came into my head. And I don't there's going to be lots of protesters, but I have the sense, this is just my vision, that like Pope Leo is going to be speaking in Chicago, and it's like the sun, with the beams of sunlight shining on him like a halo, like the heavens have opened, the lights coming in, and but with DC, which seems to happen. I've seen, I think that's AI or anything. I've seen um, other pictures of like lightning hitting the White House. The gods are not happy at the White House. Um, uh, okay, see. I want to read all these comments. How connected are large corporations to Russia? Very connected, depends which ones, of course. Of course, the gas and oil industries. But the gas and oil industries are competitors with Russia. It's more the tech industries. I'm getting crypto, you know, uh, without crypto, I don't know where Putin would be. And when Putin goes, and what I see for that government is it being taken over by the resistance, the ones, Operation Spiderweb that assisted Ukraine. That's going to be a democratic or democratically inclined for the first time, maybe in that country. And the tech brothers are and crypto and all of that stuff. It's just gone. I mean, I didn't mean it like that. The tech brothers, um, they're very reliant on crypto. Their crypto is going to be gone. That's what I meant. It's just because it's really made up money. It doesn't. It's not real. It's nothing. But I still don't understand like all the pollution it causes. I guess they actually, there must be something material, but it's just really, it's just contraband money. It's money laundering. It's a way that you get, buy illicit weapons and drugs. And it's just, but I see it poof. They want to convert our monetary system to crypto right now, but I don't see that happening. But yeah, when Pooty goes, it goes. Um, what else? Can you read? Bronze Goddess is asking, can you read on Democratic Congress members? Will they be locked out of the Capitol? They file charges against anyone else? Is there a specific event? Um, they will be allowed to vote. They will be, there's various Congressmen members that they are targeting out. Um, what was it? A journalist or a congressperson who was? Oh, she, yeah, I think it was a congressperson who's being charged. brought up on charges or something. Those were everything will be dropped. It's all performance, although it does, cause a lot of problems because who wants to have to go through that whole process, and it's very aggressive. But I don't see it in the end. It just it doesn't stick. Um, it's going to happen there. Oh yeah, I know what else I was going to say about like this is still the same energy as the insurrection. And remember how we felt? It's the same people, it's the same intent, and now they're in power. That's exactly where it's at. The insurrectionists are in power, and that's why they're freeing the ones who are in jail. They're all these people, everybody. I think in Felon's cabinet was involved in the insurrection. Um, what happened with Senator Padilla? When did that happen? Oh yeah, Republican from Monaco from New Jersey charged. Um, yeah, Jackie's saying that she has to attend a funeral. Well, that's a good life. 104. Uh, so many people leaving the world this year. Um, they're trying to scare the Congress people, the Democrats, into submission. That's what they're doing. I see Marjorie Taylor Greene's face, like as part of that, like her energy, like and Christy Noem, those people that they would do that, and there's a lot of emotional damage, but in the end, it's not going to last again. It's not going to last. What happened, Brunscottis? Can you tell me, or somebody tell me what happened with Padilla this morning? I wasn't aware of that. And what was the intent? Like, what was he protesting? Oh yeah, it is 3:33 on the clock. Mimi, it's on my clock too. 3:33. Um, so let me ask in a better way to give an answer that's meaningful for you regarding how they're. It makes me so sick to my stomach how they're dealing with our government and trying to destroy democracy. Um, but because I don't know if I'm being very coherent about that. Um, it's just how they play. So Padilla was kicked out of Christine Holmes' presser. Um, but in the end, it will everything they're doing like that's going to come to backfire in some way. They're thugs and they're criminals. They're all criminals, right? Or pretend or they all are criminals because they've taken part in a coup allegedly, purposes only. Oh, I'm sorry that happened. Yeah, that's how they play these, but it will backfire. Um, Lani Ann, hi Lani. She says Senator Padilla is a really good guy. Yeah, the so Tormel, the reporter fired for saying Miller was a hater. He's now on Substack, and Joy Reid has a YouTube show. I just saw that's just starting. So Padilla was only asking a question and was manhandled because they're such a weak government. They can't handle it. The questions. Um, Forest Stream says the changes from AI are coming fast. I'm wondering if we'll be able to navigate through this evil. I believe that when Putin falls, which I think is going to be very, very soon, when Putin goes, so close, all of that is going to change because he's funding and he's in control of the oligarchs, the technocrats, uh, and this whole insurrection and the kind of changing of the rules. So if he goes and we can have like a more progressive, democratic type government in Russia, then everything falls apart for them. They don't have any, like all their direction is being coming from one person. And I have a sense, and I'd be interested if other people feel this way too, that Putin would sabotage anybody, any of the oligarchs, including our technocrats, so that they cannot succeed when he goes. Once they've sold their soul to him, he like the devil, he's just going to take their soul. Um, but the guides will always. Yeah, Gina says we will be able to clean up the legal mess. Yes, that Felon 45 is made of our democracy. Because think about this: if this does pan out, which I hope it does, if Putin falls, then he's got all the secrets, right? What if we have a democracy-loving Russia? It's like we're going to delete all this data and information. We're going to negate this. We're going to also let you know that the election was falsified and that your true president is Kamala Harris and your true vice president is Tim Walz. And not only did the Congress become, how am I saying this? Yeah, the Congress is ruled by Democrats, but also the Senate is too. There you go. We have the proof. Do with it what you may. Um, Sorry, I will occasionally get my words scrambled because my thoughts are kind of coming like sometimes too fast. Um, do they have? Mimi's asking, do they have someone that takes over when Putin goes like we have here? Well, Putin has gotten rid of all his potential successors, and he cannot tolerate having people around him who could replace him. And if you look at the whole history of that, you'll see that that's what he does. And he only keeps those people that are like secondary to him. I don't think he can even conceive of um, being taken over by somebody. I like his place being filled by somebody else. So when he goes, I believe that the Russian resistance, who are sponsored by NATO, I believe that just in my, allegedly that Biden, our country also worked to get that alliance strong, and all the kind of like hidden things that have like Operation Spiderweb that have been going on to undermine Russia, and that those people are ready to take over. They're going to come in and take over that government, and they're going to be allied with NATO. That's what I see. Yeah. Alice says, from your lips to God's ears. So that's what I see. And Putty is just he's such a megalomaniac and so bad for his country. And so he has really squandered his country's resources and stolen other money and put his faith in the wrong people. And as diabolical as he is, he's made terrible judgments. I think it's now is 1 million of his soldiers who have passed in this war. He won't win this war, and I don't think he's on Earth for much longer. But that's just. Oh, thank you, Franz Goddess. Thank you for the compliment. Celtic Seer says peace successors might get by for a few weeks at the most, but given the current economic state in Russia, all hell will break loose. Yeah, because there's no money, and then there's like the army is in such a terrible state. It just I don't see him passing on a successor. for long anyway. It ends with him. It ends with Pootie. Um, Mimi's asking, wonder if Navalny's wife will come forward. Um, okay, it's a different question, but I think the same question, but different, asked differently. Um, what I see is, oh, I know, I need to ask, like, who will take over? Like, is there specific, who's going to be the president? Specific person, is a group of people, like a collaboration? They will have a elected leader, and they will actually have a democratic election. At first, I think they have to put somebody in there because that's what, but then that person will declare an election at some point. I don't think it's Navalny's wife, though. I think it's a male, somebody who's been fighting for the resistance, a beautiful man, very much like Zelensky, actually, and that's the next leader. Not that there won't be women in the government, but I see a man taking over, and he'll be amazing. Of the same ilk as Zelensky and the Pope, the new Pope, and these people who are just amazing. Well, thank you, Stephanie. Victory, Slava Ukraine. Um, so I'm assuming because yes, yellow, blue. So that's wonderful of you. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's what's coming. I wish I was better at time. I see things and hope for things like that to be like tomorrow, but sometimes it's longer than that. And I get impatient. Of course, I think maybe we all do, but then I have to remember about divine timing, because divine timing is the timing, like the perfect timing that is, if it happened earlier, certain things could not take place, or certain spiritual, even evolution, or could not take place. Everything was not in even though we want something, everything's just not aligned. That's the right word for what needs to happen. That's divine timing. So my guys do tell me, Pootie will make his transition to the other world, wherever that is, in divine timing, and Felon 45 also will leave the planet, because I honestly don't see him having much time here either. My guides just say no. One way or the other, however he leaves the planet, it will be his time to transition. And I this is crazy that I also see Vance as having a transition to another, to the next world, or whatever, wherever he goes. And I think he's so young, how can that be? But maybe it's also that the energy of Aquarius is, this new energy coming in, it's just too much for the older, denser energies. It just can't sustain it here. That's why they're trying to, like, take this energy and crunch it up and make it like dense so they can survive on it. But I don't see that. Like, the more that we go into Aquarius, the harder it gets for them. And then it becomes impossible. And then their density just kind of breaks away from our dimensional reality. If that makes any sense. Celtic Series, tell us more about, like, the astrology charts of Fallen 45, and did you say Pootie? I'd be interested in Musk's, or I shouldn't have said that word, Leon's too. Oh, you're saying Celtic Series says a new moon in Cancer is on June 25th, will benefit the US chart, so something beneficial is coming our way. I believe in this country. I believe in the people of this country. I believe in the people of the world. I believe that our hearts want us to rise, and I think that is what collectively is going to happen. Oh, Celtic Seer, you say you have the same feeling about Vance, and I don't really know why, like, it should be, but that's how it's like he just isn't he's not gonna be around, and but that, you could talk about soul contracts, maybe that's a soul contract, um, only here for a short time. He certainly is, a whole 'nother, like, manifestation of evil. Oh, interesting. Yeah, but he's the technocrats, like, I say, and I don't mean to put dogs down. I say this like their dog, their pet, their plant to bring them, the Trojan horse to bring them in. Because it certainly has to be a schism or that's created by the technocrats and by the old school fascists that are in there. Um, you know, look at Bannon. If it's true, which I believe it is, he really hates Leon. Um, but they both, it's weird because they all have like a similar vision, but coming at it from different um, aspects, different perceptions, but they still want the same thing, really. Uh, so yeah, um, what else? You guys remind me. What else is going on? I think my, I think we all do, I guess, but I get overloaded by it, and then I take a break, but then I find myself going right back because all the people I listen to on YouTube, not all, because I definitely have other interests. But when I, go back to YouTube, I see that the, my just brothers, are saying something, and Mockler and all the different um, Democratic voices are, reporting on something that I think, oh, maybe I should know about that. Then I get freaked out, and then I kind of like have to listen to something else. Coming plagues, forest dreams. Like the bishop, I like that come. Shady will last as long as a box of Kleenex during a flu outbreak. um, so Celtics. Oh yeah. Well, there's a new uh, for streams. There's a new or maybe a couple new COVID variants. One is N181, and another's called Nimbus. So people misunderstand and misjudge COVID. COVID is highly intelligent, continually mutating, and it's not going to be like the flu or the a cold. It's bad to get into your system. I believe in healing. I believe there are ways to, but vaccines, yes, but also ways to like cleanse your liver and to strengthen your immune system and just kind of get it out of your body. But you don't really want to invite it into your body. And we've been gaslit into thinking that it's no big deal. And it's a big deal. It's just, if you start researching it, it's crazy. And it shouldn't be underestimated. Yes, H5N1, climate change is bringing a host of new virulent pathogens into our environment. It's just the price of our world, the imbalance. Um, we'll deal with it as we deal with it. But if the I hear the guides correctly, and we do have Kamala and Tim, at some point, and this is a thing of the past. This takeover by Russia, then we will be dealing with it. We will be dealing with it in a way where it will benefit all, and we can. I think it also leads to new discoveries in genetics and in the immune system, in healing itself. And so we'll be finding new ways to heal ourselves regarding any of this, and also to bring the world back into balance. And that has always been dream and vision of mine since I can't even remember when. There's a Kabbalistic saying, it's Tikkun Olam. Maybe it's more ancient than Kabbalah. From the old Jewish text of the Talmud, which is to dream the world whole. Tikkun Olam. And just think about that. Think about dreaming the world whole. So it's such a powerful concept, and I believe that's something that in the future, more and more we will be dreaming the world healed, and that includes any plague, or we will be manifesting, bringing our world into balance and syncing up with Gaia, and all kinds of miracles and wonderful things can occur with healing when we are in that um, spiritual alignment with our body and our mind. So Celtic Sir says EM is experiencing remorse. He has a cancer and gets a temporary reprieve, but not for long. Oh yeah, because Felon never forgets and he will get even. I mean, it's not just even, well, yeah, it is the whole like Epstein file thing. But remember, this has been an ongoing thing. And he hasn't forgotten about Leon's son coming into the Oval Office and putting a booger on his desk and telling him he's not the real president. And think about how many insults have, occurred, how much Leon is irritated Felon 45 in all this time. So it's narcissists don't forget, they get even. And they, oh my God, showed me this vision of, how Felon 45 loves to he- what's the word, like his rivals, like Lindsay and Ted Cruz, anybody who's ever insulted him, and he likes to break them and make them crawl and then indenture them to him, and he thinks he can do that to Leon. That's what he wants. He wants him to come crawling, but he wants to own him. He wants to break him. He wants to make him less than like a crawling on the ground abject, and it's in servitude, servile. Do you get that? But that's already set in motion. There's no way in heck that um, Felon 45 is going to forget the things that uh, Leon said. And Leon himself's like, he's not apologizing for all of it. He said some of the things. So this is only a reprieve. I think it's just going to be 4th of July. It's going to be huge again. If not, maybe it happens in the dark. But those guys are mortal enemies. I don't think that could ever change. And maybe they always have been, but they you, meshed into each other because of being the transaction. Being so useful for each other. But one of them has to be alpha, right? One of them has to be the king. Can't have two kings, not for one kingdom. Hey, Hazel. Yeah, yeah. Linda Bishop, the age of Aquarius will be lovely for all, but first we have to shake off the people of the age of Pisces who just aren't getting the message that their time is up. Yes, or they have to transcend. They have to go be somehow transformed to be able to come into Aquarius the way that Aquarius is already requiring, I think. Forest dreams, we will become whole. We are in the breath of source. Our fragmentation has been the out breath of source, and now we are turning back in. Just an idea. Oh, that is so beautiful. I love that vision. Celtic Sears telling Linda Bishop, Pluto moving through Aquarius over the next 20 years. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Yeah, it certainly already is, right? Mimi saying Leon and 45 will be in another food fight. They will. They can't help it. Their egos are they're equally matched in that way. And they're going to keep on ramming each other and ramming each other. Um, and Leon, again, like coming back to the beginning of this discussion when I was talking about, or we were talking about, oh, how anyway, the idea that Leon probably has an app that can just turn off the internet, like he can just turn SpaceLink off, and there'll be no internet in the White House. I mean, he has to have the capability. There's no way he doesn't. No way. So what does that mean? That gives him huge amount of power. And I just don't see 45 understanding that. I think 45 said he says to himself, I've got all the power because I've got the checkbook. He treats our money like it's his, and he's some kind of like mean father or something. But I'm sorry, if you have control over the internet, then you have got control. I mean, there's Palantir, right? Too surveillance, data, all of that stuff. And 45 just gave it away without any control. That's insanity. Hey, Ada. Thank you so much. I'm fine. How are you doing? Uh, Celtics here says lots of drama, especially around Independence Day, a week either side. It's explosive. Yes, I see that. These people, they don't have impulse control. They're at each other's throats. It's always the five of wands with them, right? And I'll get into that next time. Uh, just kind of having a look into the future of this. I hate calling them a government. This illegitimate coup. Uh, to see, more of what's coming. Maybe hone in on Letnick and different people like that. Oh, that's too bad. Tilen says she saw something about a worker being chased through a field. Yeah, and cruelty is the point. Oh, before I go, and by the way, I forgot to bring out a oracle card. We'll do that next time. Doesn't matter. Unless I don't need to do oracle cards. Just think it's nice to get that kind of guidance from the guides. Um, if I remember, we'll probably have one again. Um, oh, Celtic Sir, thank you so much. It is tough, but I know it's tough for all of us. It's just like, ugh, just. Ugh. Um, thank you, Earth Mama. This glass is called Firefly glass, and I really love it. My these two bracelets are also Firefly glass, and it really catches the light. Regime. Yes, thank you. LS, that is the word. Hey, women of peace, greetings. Um, so, okay, let's see what I want to ask. This one more thing. Oh, we won't get into Stephen Miller because maybe I can leave you with this. Actually, it's a little humor. This is my crazy mind. Ask the guys if it's okay to talk about it. Not that I want it to happen. It's more like a movie, like a villain in a movie. Um, and I don't wish harm to anybody. But in my mind, it's like one of those movies where maybe like with old school John Candy and Martin Short, those kind of people. So somebody cooks up a plan, and let's say they're working as like laborers or servants or something in Miller's household, and they decide one day to kind of knock him out, like maybe with a drink. I mean, this is just a movie, not for reality. And then they drag him like behind some bushes. They spray paint him, like they tan him so he looks brown, or he looks like a he comes from Latin America or South America, and then they dress him up in migrants' clothing and they give him somebody's um documentation, as like that he doesn't have like a maybe he has a Mexican passport, but he doesn't have any visa or anything. And they take him to like a field in Texas where they know that there are ice, and they just leave him there. And he gets taken to El Salvador or Guantanamo, and he has to figure out how to get back because they don't believe him because he's got nothing. He's got no cell phone or anything. They just think because of his color and his clothing and his documentation that he's an illegal immigrant. I don't know why. It's silly. It's a silly idea, but I mean, maybe he would learn some empathy and compassion. But I don't think he has a like, potential for that. Not that that will ever happen to him, but that's what came into my mind. Um, maybe that's so funny. So I'll pick of him as a Nazi with the Pee Wee German. Can you see the movie? Can you see it happening, like at least in a movie? And it'd be like it would be a pretty interesting plot. Yeah, or any of them, any of them, just to see what that feels like. It's so sad. Well, I don't want it to happen to anybody, really, but thank you, LS. Yeah, I think it would be a great Hollywood pitch, actually. It wouldn't necessarily, like, it would be somebody similar to him, not necessarily him. Okay, you guys, I love you so much. Stephanie, what was your message? You can, I'll wait for you to post it if you want to put it back in. Oh, maybe that was what it was. You're so welcome. So I'll get through this. May peace and protection surround you. May a circle of angels surround you if you go to the King's March. I think that with some imagination and humor, flash dances, song, whatever, that could be uh, a way to, it is Gay Pride Month. I hope people get really creative so that whatever violence they're trying to direct gets, deflected, and it becomes a joyous celebration and statement. No kings, no kings, and happy Pride. And yeah, raining on 45 parade would make my Saturday. Oh, it's okay, Tris. And I'll repost this. Oh, there'll be a replay. Okay, you guys, I'm going to end the stream. You be well, and we're going to get through this. We'll get through this, and we're going to rise. Okay, bye-bye. Bye.